Welcome after Easter holidays is the SpiceFM. I'm host Charleston alongside
the real Solo
and DJ Charm on the 1 and 2s. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are Good Friday.
Easter weekend.
Good Friday was Good Friday.
Good Friday was Good Fridaying.
And Easter Monday, yesterday, was the bomb.
Yes.
Solo, where were you? I know where you were.
Where was I?
You drank because Arsenal lost.
I'm not about to talk about matters of football.
Yes.
And I always tell people that usieke mambo ya mpira kwa roho. Itakuumiza na utavunjika. You'll have to break yourself for nothing. But of course, that was not an expected result from Team Arsenal. But again, it was just the FA Cup.
From a quadruple to a treble, now to a double.
Now it's a double, which is good.
And tonight, it will go a single.
Today we do the Champions League.
And it will become a single.
No.
I'm going to go a single.
No. But our score was to grab Champions League and the Premier League.
You're still going for a double.
Those are the main cups
double
right now. Yes, that's a double.
You're not single?
No, not single. We are not solo.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The people who are single, it's like Ann Kansime.
Yes.
Ann Kansime.
Yes.
The Ugandan comedian.
Yes.
She has split from the husband.
Yes.
You know the sad thing?
Yes.
She's the one who paid the dowry.
And then we did not know. That's what. No wonder. All this time. We say, now she's the one who paid the dowry and she's the one who has had to walk away.
Yes. This is the second divorce. So the girl said because of the pressure, Ann Kansime, she was saying that, society pressure, after divorcing the first person, fall in love.
The first person was a Sudanese guy.
Yes.
From South Sudan.
Yes.
And they had their bond, but they were saying they had not even known each other very, very well. So it did not last very well.
Yeah.
And then she went back to her Ugandan
Skylanta,
the musician.
Skylanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were blessed with a baby.
Yes.
Kumbe hii kitu yote walikuwa wamepanga ni Kansime alikuwa anachomoa do.
Kansime said because of family pressure.
Yeah.
And this man was not forthcoming with dowry.
Yeah.
She decided to pay her own dowry.
Yeah. So no losses.
So Kimemramba.
Yes. And she had to speak out.
She has spoken out.
Mambo ya roho inauma.
She has spoken out. And she's saying that she has learned now.
Yeah.
That but she, the guy, Skylanta went on and released a song.
Yes.
X. Taking a swipe at her.
Yeah.
After this guy has been paid for her, the dowry which he should be paid.
But for men who actually accept that kind of thing, they don't feel nothing.
Yeah?
They don't feel anything. That's why he can even actually release a song and taking a swipe on her. They don't feel nothing because you decided to pay the dowry. Then let's go. You're not losing anything. See, it's your cows.
But can you get your cows back?
No, you cannot. Because now, you see that dowry goes to the lady's family.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo alinunua tu ng'ombe zao na akarudisha. But it's sad that she had to go through that phase because at first we actually thought that she was truly in love with a Ugandan man now. Yes. And, she spoke, she gave a very, very heartfelt narration about her first marriage to the Sudanese guy. And I think it was almost borrowing the same script.
Yes.
If you look closely, it was almost a similar kind of scenario with the Sudanese guy again. Because I think she had always been used to paying staff or settling the bills.
What? And it's very interesting because now I'm wondering, I'm looking at Ann Kansime and I'm wondering, you're the one who was telling us how women should behave.
Yeah.
So you have been playing your own character.
Yeah. This one was a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a scripted movie.
And you, away from that, Bien also said that, alokigi simu yake.
Yeah.
If Chiki finds something
but
there,
why should you? If someone is looking for something,
let her get.
They will find it there. So you want to open and see? What do you expect for someone like Bien? You think he only gets one DM? There are people and so many girls who are trying their shot.
Shooting their shot.
They're shooting their shot.
Yeah.
So whatever you go looking for is what you'll find. You'll get it out there.
So you deal with the heartbreak.
Yeah. Kiupole wewe peke yako. Si unataka kufungua? Utapata hapo.
Heartbreak.
Na manudes. Takuvunja roho ushangae hii ni nini nimeona hapo.
And you know Nairobi girls have no qualms.
No, they don't.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
They just tell you, can we link up?
Yeah. And
or what do you like? How do you like this?
Exactly. I'll even say no strings attached.
Yeah?
I just want for the memories.
What for the memories?
One for the memories.
Yeah?
Yeah. They say that. Oh, Nairobi women.
Oh, one for the
memories.
And then after some time, she releases screenshots if you reply.
Yeah.
If you reply,
even if you don't.
She'll just release the receipt.
Anasemanga huyu si anaonanga message zangu analenga. So for someone like BN, I mean, it shouldn't come as a very, very hard task. If you want to go into his DM, you'll see how many ladies have been trying to shoot their shot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It becomes something different.
Yes. And especially when you're successful in the musical career.
Yeah.
Not only music, in anything that you ever do. If you're successful, then your DM is always packed.
Guys will send anything and everything.
Everything, anything, from your fans to your enemies to your crushes to your even your first loves.
Yes.
All of them will be there.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, away from Kenyan politics and Kenyan issues, Donald J. Trump has said by midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
By midnight?
Tonight, they can actually take a swipe on Iran.
And he says that civilization will be gone.
You know,
and he's using the F word.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he a mad guy?
So unpresidential.
He's so unpresidential.
I didn't know
who elected this man?
I didn't know some. And you know, they love him that way.
Who elected him?
The people who elected him, they love him that way.
And he says, I will F off these things of the... How? A whole president.
A whole president, because the bitter exchange between the two countries, Iran and America, has really been heated in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And of course, everything is stemming out because of the control of oil. Already America has taken a step, and of course kudos to the quartet who actually went on a trip to the moon. The guys who have gone 250,000 miles away from Earth, like further than any other person, any other humanity has ever done. And you can imagine the feeling that Donald Trump is having. And then now thinking that he's battling a nation that is trying to fight for their oil and the control.
You know what I think of Donald Trump? He's a flat out bully.
Yes, he's
just a guy who... You know those people who...
He's very confrontational. That is his nature.
Who loves bringing pain to others.
Yes.
For no reason.
That's his nature. Because now,
look at this way. They have attacked the oil plant in Iran.
In Iran.
If Kenyans do not buy oil in advance...
Anytime soon.
The problem, Donald Trump will send this world into recession.
Yes, that's true.
I'm telling you, the world.
Yeah.
He's going
because I'm very aware of some people who actually spent the night on the road because they could not find fuel between Nakuru and Nairobi.
You will not?
Yes.
And it is going to be worse.
It's going to be worse.
Even cooking oil gas in these countries
will also disappear.
Will be a problem. Because of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, and he seems like he doesn't care. All he needs is he just wants to control.
So Kenyans, if you are going to buy traffic, you know what happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
The PKPC managing director stepped aside, and of course the other guy stepped aside because of that 500 million deal, which was under the deal over oil.
Yes.
Now Kenyans must be very careful because even what you've been told,
yes,
is not adding up.
That's true.
you might lack oil.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah, last time they said it's 2 weeks.
I don't think it's 2 weeks.
I don't even think it's 2 weeks.
It's
whatever. We are actually probably consuming the very, very last bits.
Yeah, because I'm sure. Because our oil comes from Saudi Arabia, but Saudi Arabia cannot supply the whole world.
Yes, it cannot.
Remember, most of oil comes from Iran.
Yes.
Iran has the best quality oil.
Yes, and we have already started destroying some of it.
Yes.
Because of the war.
It's just madness.
It's madness.
So the way Trump is behaving, it's like Rigiji and President Ruto abusing each other like
and now they're back at it again.
They're like high school. You know those mchongo ano?
Yeah, to mchongo ano. Break time. Na bado wanaendelea time ya class.
So now Rigiji is abusing the president.
Yes.
The president is abusing Rigiji.
Yeah. And they're even taking swipes at their families and their spouses.
Hey, wewe bibi yako unapiga.
Anavanga shades.
Anavanga shades kila siku. Like 2 kids on a playground.
Yes.
You know, someone should tell President Ruto, there's no need of answering to Rigiji.
No, there's no need. And I don't know why they're actually focusing so much on that.
Yeah, why are you answering?
And his deputy is also getting entangled in the same.
Yeah.
Because now it looks like every time that they grab the microphone.
They go for him. But you see, this guy has nothing to lose.
Yes.
Rigiji.
Nothing.
Has nothing to lose.
The more he's mentioned, the more he likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a pig wrestling in the mud.
Yeah. It will be muddy, messy, but
loud. But
it had fun.
He's enjoying. Kenyans,
that's very
who
true.
Did you elect for us? If you don't know what's happening, them abuses between those guys are crazy.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
That's true. And sad too.
Of course now, it seems that my good friend Opio Wandai is on the receiving end.
Yes.
And of course, Lee Kenyanjwi over the recent fuel importation scandal. Wandai has been supported by Oburu Odinga.
But I wonder why. Why are we always taking sides and supporting people who are actually and clearly on the wrong?
You see,
we need to change all these characters and that kind of mentality, because if someone has actually overseen something that is scandalous, that's not good for the nation.
Yes.
Whether you're backing them up or not, it clearly shows that you probably had interest.
Yes.
Or it's a plan.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I mean, if we are going to get substandard fuel, what is there to back someone up? And clearly, we have seen in the Standard today that even the documentation and the emails.
Yeah, the trail.
Yeah.
The trail is very clear.
Exactly.
Of how these things went.
Yes.
We are saying he might not expressly signed it.
Exactly.
But he was aware. He was aware.
Yes.
In the hindsight, he was aware this deal was taking place.
Exactly.
And he might not have given a go-ahead.
Yeah.
But he could have done something.
But he knew.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you start coming out and supporting such characters, I mean, it's wanting for our kind of leadership. But I think
Oburu wants power.
Oburu wants power.
Power! That's why. So that's why he's looking for it.
Yeah.
It's just in search of power.
But in the wrong way, because I'm telling you, there's that force that's coming in the Gen Z quorum, and they are observing everything that is going on. And two things might be possible. Number one, of course, they are going to pick their own side and say they don't support and don't condone it. Number two is that whatever we are teaching them, they are learning and taking it. Now it will be a case of your lecturer being your best teacher and then you becoming the best lecturer.
Tuko kadi. So let's take a short break. When you come back, we continue the broadcast and of course tell you what's happening. Of course, finally maybe Solodisi Majembe and Mbavu the Destroyer.
Yes, I saw the fight and I had told you and I had predicted here. I told you see, when you do too much running of the mouth, it does not reflect like that in the ring.
Was it scripted?
No, it was not scripted. That was a real blow. And he was lucky. You could see he was actually gushing in pain.
Was it under the belt?
No, it was not. It was not. he tried to bend, he tried to dodge it. He did not know where the blow was going to come from. And alipatana na blow chini. So for him to have fought for, but you could even see, I mean, when you watch amateur boxers, you can already start telling who is scoring better points when they are fighting.
Yeah, but Nani was good. Makembe.
Yes, he's a boxer.
He's a boxer.
The other guy is just a hood rat.
Hood rat.
Yeah. That's true. So when
weka
mawe ukiekelewa wewe utashout. Utashout. Ukielewa mama vizuri. Umepiga zoezi wapi, and you could see how he was throwing his punches, flowing him like a girl.
He didn't have a skill.
No. You can tell when someone
is a street fighter.
Not maybe street terrorist.
So low number Mbavu the destroyer.
Yeah, but in terms of creating content, creating awareness, creating the hype,
it worked.
They both did very well.
It worked.
Yeah, but in the ring, probably something could have been done differently. They could have been asked to do the first rounds as an exhibition, and then by the time you get to the 4th, 5th round, you're told now every man for himself, and now you can fight.
Okay.
Because they tried to check on the safety issues, the safety elements. You could see they had their headgears on, and of course they had their groin tags
covered.
So you could see there were some elements of safety, but once the jab is out and it comes for you,
it's out.
That's it.
Out.
Yeah.
So finally, ladies and gentlemen, in a few, the Israeli ambassador to Kenya will be here in the studio with us.
Oh, yes.
We want to unpack a couple of things happening in the Middle East, the war in Iran, climate change, and of course, he's going to tell us what's going on in that world. And do we expect energy crisis and all that? So at the top of the hour after news, you will be with us here. Keep listening. It's a wonderful Tuesday. Karibuni Nairobi. I know you guys, you're broke as hell because you spent all your money in the village. I know you're so broke, but Karibuni sana in the city all the sun.
Yes.
Because it is what it is.
It is what
and
it is.
we are going to make you enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Keep listening. Of course, it's a Spice Drive. I'm host you, Charles Sosteno, and the Real Solo. And as we promised you in the earlier conversation, the ambassador of Israel to Kenya, Tanzania, and nearly the rest of Africa.
Malawi,
Seychelles, kila mahali is in the studio. Mr. Gideon Behar, Ambassador, His Excellency, is with us. Karibu sana.
Asanteni sana.
Yeah, welcome. I know you are very busy, and thank you for coming, at least for this afternoon. And of course, there are many things happening in the world, of course, and one is a war in the Middle East. And I don't know, will it end soon, or is there anything which we don't know, which we need to know?
Well, it goes according to plans, and we hope it will end soon.
Yeah.
And I think this is basically.
It might end soon. But today, the Israeli attacked all the areas of critical infrastructure in Iran. Today.
Well, infrastructure which is being hit is infrastructure which is used for military purposes.
Yes.
And we don't want the Iranian regime to continue possessing infrastructure that will allow it to rebuild its nuclear programs again, or ballistic programs again, or being able to produce tens of thousands of drones as it has been doing for the recent years and months. So this is the reason.
Oh, that's the reason. So, but what I'm seeing is that most of the problem in the Middle East is it's escalating to economically the oil problem now. In Africa, we might not even get oil because of the closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
And you have to ask yourself why, and who is to be blamed. It's the Iranian regime which unilaterally decided to block the Straits of Hormuz. in clear violation of international law, in clear violation of maritime law. They are the ones to be blamed. They have decided to create an economic war. And really to make the prices of energy spike up. This is their strategy. Their strategy is really to create pressure globally by blocking the Straits of Hormuz. And it affects many countries, but the culprit, the side that has to be blamed because of that is the Iranian regime, very clear.
So what can be done to avert this crisis?
Well, they should open the straits. It's very clear. They should open the strait and stop attacking energy infrastructure in the region. Not only that they have been blocking the Straits of Hormuz, they also have been attacking their neighbors, which produce much of the oil and gas in this world. So far, they have been attacking 12 countries in the Middle East. Namely Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Emirates, Jordan, Oman, etc., etc. So what we see is an Iranian regime which is a regional threat. It threatens the whole countries in the region. They didn't attack the Iranian state or regime, these countries. But the Iranian regime has decided to attack these countries in order to make a shortage in oil and energy supplies globally. And this is their tactic, this is their strategy, and countries far away which are not part of a conflict are affected by that. But this is again a strategy and tactic of this regime in Iran.
So are we also seeing like some of the tactics they're using propaganda and spreading of fake news, a lot of it?
Absolutely, this is also part of the war today, and it's very easy because today with bots and with AI you can create lots of false information, and especially in social media. And this is also the right moment to tell people, don't believe everything that you read or see on social media today. Be very careful of what you are taking, because much of the traffic in social media today is not done by humans, it is done by bots. And there are states that use this a lot, and the Iranian regime is one of the countries that uses fake news, uses the social media to spread just false information and to enforce a false narrative.
So what is the end game plan?
Well, let's remember why this war started. It started as an act of self-defense by Israel. It's a joint activity by the United States of Israel with 3 goals. One is to stop Iran from having a vast ballistic missiles program. The second goal of the war is to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear capabilities or nuclear bombs. And the third one is to stop the Iranian regime from supporting terrorist organizations throughout the region, the proxies, what we call them the proxies, like Hezbollah, the Houthis, Islamic Jihad, Hamas, Shiite militias in Iraq, etc. So these are the 3 goals of this war. And we must bear in mind that what we are seeing here is a very justified war. We are really stopping a regime which is a terroristic regime, a very dangerous regime, from becoming, from having just a global influence. And you know, you can see it today. I mean, the evidence and the proofs are there. The closure of the Straits of Hormuz is one. The threats of the Houthis to block Bab el-Mandab Straits, this is another example. The Houthis are a proxy of Iran, of the Iranian regime. They receive money from Iran, they receive weapons from Iran, technology, instructions, ideology, all coming from Iran. And Hezbollah is the same. Hezbollah is the same. That's why this regime is so dangerous. It is very dangerous globally. I want the listeners really to understand it. This is a regime which is dangerous to the whole world. And the proof is the blockades of the Strait of Hormuz, the threats to block the Straits of Bab el-Mandab, the attacks against the moderate Arab states in the Gulf, which are just neighbors of Iran. Why to attack them? Why to destroy energy facilities in Qatar, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, Emirates, Riyadh, etc.? For what purpose?
So the problem is that they are saying that they want to deny the other countries as well of this capability of producing oil, so that Americans cannot and Israel cannot get help. Or what does it mean?
Well, I think what they are saying is really nonsense. And what we are seeing now is an economic war by Iran. They have moved the war from the battlefield into the economic zone and into the energetic zone. This is a war of energy. This is blackmailing of the whole world. Now, I want to ask you, imagine to yourself what could have happened if they had atomic bombs in their hands, or thousands of ballistic missiles. Who could have stopped them? Who could have stopped them? They would do whatever they want. And I want you and the listeners really to understand this is a very dangerous regime that has as an aim, declared aim, to export the Islamic Revolution version of the Iranian regime worldwide. This is what they want. So they are a threat, a global threat to everyone, also to Muslims. And we see it now. They have been attacking 12 countries in the region, all of them Muslim countries.
It's crazy that, but anyway. Away from, I don't know, Solo, you have something on?
Well, I know. Now that we have transitioned to that point, which is very strong, that we have moved it to an economic war. And of course, in the region that you also represent, we've had, say, a lot of business people in Kenya who have been exporting certain products, including to Israel, like flowers, tea, and stuff like that, and a lot of it.
Ananas to Israel. Yes, a lot.
Yeah, and it's really, really affecting. I don't know. Do we have any mitigations of how long this war may take? How soon are we going to see us or our business people getting back to business economically, because they are losing millions per day?
I understand that, and my heart is with these people. I truly understand them, and I feel really sorry for them. But again, we must understand who is responsible for that. Who is causing that? It's the Iranian regime, which is causing that has been attacking airports all around the Middle East, which has been blocking the Straits of Hormuz and now threatening with blockage of Bab el-Mandab through the Houthis. They are the ones that we have to point the finger at and say, you are blamed. You should be blamed of that. I really hope that we will achieve the goals of the war as soon as possible, which are prevention of Iran of having atomic bombs, stopping the ballistic missiles program of Iran, and stopping the support the Iranian regime is giving to terroristic organizations, the proxies in the Middle East. Once this is done, the war will be over.
Okay. And Kenyans who are also in Israel have been assured of safety and everything right now?
They are like my children. Yes. There is no difference between any foreigner in Israel, my children, my sister, my family, and any others. We are all on the same boat. They all receive alerts when there is an imminent attack coming. They all know where is the nearest shelter. What they should do. They are all drilled. They receive on their cell phone, there is an app that tells you when there is an alarm. It is shared by everyone in Israel. So there is no difference between my family and if you had family in Israel, your family.
Oh, good.
So if and the other question I wanted to ask away from the war in Iran is that the Israeli bought some land in Nakuru.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and some houses to be built, around 5,000 acres. What is it about?
This is really false news. There is an innocent Israeli businessman who is investing in Kenya, who is creating thousands of jobs in Kenya. And someone who is the enemy of a good relationship between Israel and Kenya, enemy of a good relationship between Israel and Kenya, has picked this up, revolved it, and turned it, and created a very false story. And this is what I was referring before. Be careful with what you read. Israel has been, I want to assure you, I am the ambassador of Israel in Kenya. I want to assure you, Israel is the friend of Kenya. Israel ni rafiki ya Kenya. Rafiki mzuri sana ya Kenya. Wa Israel wanapenda wa Kenya. Israel, serikali ya Israel anapenda serikali na Kenya na watu na Kenya. Iko uhusiano mzuri sana katika Israel na Kenya. Iko urafiki mrefu, iko urafiki ya kibiblia, iko uhusiano katika maeneo kama maji, kilimo, nguvu, ulinzi, teknolojia, elimu, afya, and so. We love Israel. We want to stay in Israel. We don't want to to colonize other countries. Israel has never been like that. We love the Holy Land. This is Zion. Our country is the Holy Land where you read about it in the Bible. This is where we want to be. Be careful of these people. They are vicious people who want to create divergence between Israel and Kenya because they see how good the relationship are. You know, just recently I opened a WhatsApp group of all the Israeli NGOs that work in Kenya. Okay? I have dozens of them here. Dozens, in every aspect, people who, a lady, an Israeli lady who opened a bees museum in Masai Mara. I think you have mentioned it, you know, to help maintain Masai tradition and to create income for people. A few weeks ago, we had the eyes camp here with doctors who came from Israel. We are working on cooperation between hospitals in Israel and hospitals in Kenya. We are opening this year a center for improvements of goats in Kenya. We send every year dozens of trainees from Kenya to Israel in agriculture. We have opened up now MA degrees in climate, in development, in so many things that we do between the two countries. And I want to assure you, as an ambassador of Israel, I do my utmost to continue and to increase that. Why? Because this is how it should be. Because I believe in it, and I believe in the good relationship between the two countries.
And you've touched on climate and where I want us to go.
Tafadhali.
Yeah? The climate change, you see the way it's raining in Nairobi and people are drowning. And it's an effect of what we call climate change in Kenya, that if it rains, it pours, and it becomes very dangerous for our people. And coming this April, there'll be more rain coming in. How do we deal with these catastrophic climate change patterns and change region?
First of all, what you have to understand is that climate change has huge effects on rain and rain patterns. That's why in some parts of the countries you see floods, and in other parts you see droughts. And Kenya is a very big country. It doesn't have one climate. It has several climates. So the effects is different in different places. And in order to mitigate the effects, you have to take different measures. So you have mentioned the issue of floods. There must be protections of barrage. There must be planning that will include floods in the planning. I've been telling also the government and municipalities in Israel about that. We have also in Tel Aviv issues with floods because we have been constructing a lot, and the waters of the rain have very little space to
evaporate.
To go into to penetrate into the soil, so they remain as a flood water. So, and we must understand that this phenomena will become more severe. It will accelerate. So we have to integrate this understanding into future planning of cities, of roads, of what we call spatial planning. How you plan the space around us. How do you prevent the floods? How you make the water your friend and not your enemy. Today the water are a threat, but water is life. Imagine So we have really to make sure that the rains will penetrate into the soils. In other places of Kenya, in the Asal region, in Turkana, Mandera, Garissa, what we see is droughts. Now, I want to tell you, it will become worse. We know the climate models, and now the question is, if we know that, what do we do? I'm preaching always. Go into irrigation, irrigated agriculture. This is the number one mitigation step Kenya can do. Because the effects of climate change, the most severe effects of climate change will be on food security in Kenya and in Eastern Africa, But we are talking about Kenya now. The most severe will be less rain, unpredictable rains that will come in huge quantities and will take soil away. You want to ensure food production, you must rely on irrigation. And the best way to do it is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation was invented in Israel. Drip irrigation uses 50% less water than any other type of irrigation, and the crops are 50% bigger. So there are also many more benefits to do that. And for me, when I look at Kenya, I see the small holders, small farmers. I think about them. I say, we have to introduce family kit drip irrigation that exists. They were invented in Israel. They are produced today everywhere in the world. You can buy them everywhere, also including Kenya. They are also produced here by Kenyan companies. You can buy them and you can use them. It is really imperative to move into irrigated agriculture. This is one thing. The second thing is to harvest rainwater. Harvest them. Don't let them just flow. There are simple ways to do that. Create a small barrage, divergence of the water, divert them to a place where they can penetrate the aquifers. This is extremely important. Take Nairobi, for example. Everyone pumps water here out of the aquifers. what will happen in 20 years, 30 years time from now?
They'll be dry.
They will be dried. You know what can happen also? The city will start sinking. Because if the aquifers are dry, there will be vacuum, and the pressures of buildings and the soil will crush the aquifers, and we see a city starting to sink. And it is happening in many other cities in the world today, in many other cities. By the way, also including Tehran, which is the fastest sinking city in the world today. Up to 30 centimeters per year, the city is sinking up to 30 centimeters. Okay, so we really, and also another thing that the president has been talking a lot about is the reforestation program. This is also very, very important. Reforestation is very important because it enables you to have some sort of control on your local climate. Okay, if you have more trees, you will have more rain, and the temperature will not be as hot as it is supposed to be because of climate change. So if I repeat what I've been saying, I've been laying a 3-step strategy, which is very simple, I can speak a lot, but move into irrigated agriculture, especially for small farmers and holders, harvest rainwater, and plant tree, indigenous trees, as much as you can. Protect the forest and plant trees.
What about disaster management and recovery? Are we doing a good job? Because, we are seeing droughts intensifying, the floods also really intensifying in the urban areas.
Yeah, this is very, very important. Every disaster management starts with planning. Okay, you have to think about the future, what disasters may appear, and try to prevent them by planning. If a disaster already happens, this is already the management. I can tell you that I've been in Israel involved a lot in that. Okay. And it's a never-ending work, because the more the climate changes, the more calamities we will see. So we can never be 100% prepared for climate change, but we must try and invest and envision the future and say, okay, this is where we are heading to. We are heading into a world which is hotter. There will be more floods, more droughts. Sea level rise. Sea level is rising today.
Every day. How much in your
approximately half a centimeter per year.
Wow.
And this is accelerating. 20 years ago, it was 3 millimeters per year. 40 years ago, it was 2 millimeters per year. Today is almost 5 millimeters per year. We are anticipating at least 1 meter sea level rise by the end of this century. And this is average sea level rise. I do not count the effects of tide, high sea, storm, Gulf, all will create a sea level rise much more than 1 meter. And it will occur, it will happen more repeatedly. So we have to look into these phenomena and draw back responses. What can we do? But I'm telling you, from my humble experience and as an expert on climate change policies, the most important thing is really to move into irrigated agriculture, especially for the smallholders. They are the most vulnerable. They don't have a means to, like big farmers, to adapt. They have no insurance. There is no insurance.
But what do we do to the main polluters, the global north?
Well, that's the big issue. That's the big issue.
Because the global south,
I agree with you,
have minimal in they have the hardest effect of climate change. Yet the people who causes the most is the global north.
I agree with you. We have no argue. The whole of Africa, including North Africa, is responsible for less than 4% of the global greenhouse gases emissions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's there are countries in the world, I will not name them, but that emit more than that. Okay,
yes.
One country,
and
not even big countries.
Small.
Yes, but and still Africa suffers
the biggest consequence.
One of the major continents to suffer. It has also very little means to adapt to climate issues. That's why I'm saying really push hard in international negotiations to stop the emissions and to move as quickly as possible into renewable energy. And you see, Kenya is a very good example. Kenya produces 90% of its electricity from renewable sources. I wish Israel was that. I wish every country in the world was following the example of Kenya. We should really learn from you how to do electricity from renewable sources. But saying all of that, I mean, we have to be realistic and to understand that even if by tomorrow, there will be zero emissions of greenhouse gases, no more emissions. Still, climate change will continue to happen for decades, if not centuries.
Because of the effect.
Because the climate has been already derailed. And the climate system is becoming more and more chaotic and unpredictable. So we have to take the measures to prepare ourselves and to adapt. And again, I'm saying, in my opinion, humble opinion, irrigated agriculture, because the threat to Kenya is the disruption in rainfall and droughts.
So irrigation will do very well in some areas with low rainfall, and what about the SL areas where they predominantly believe in animal husbandry? How do we mitigate such climate change? Because you see, the biggest problem is not in the areas where we receive rain, is where we don't receive rain, and that their way of survival is not agriculture.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So what I'm saying is one way for adapting to the situation is also in these places to move into agriculture. When I mean agriculture, I mean horticulture, to grow food. Because livestock will be more and more threatened by droughts. And it will be more and more difficult to maintain the same levels of animals as it is happening now. Another way of adaptation is to move at least partially from grazing outside into indoor livestock, growing, or at least part of the year. Okay, let's say in the rainy season, animals will graze outside, but during the dry season, they will be kept indoors and will be getting feed, animals feed. So this is another way. Another way is really to increase fisheries, to rely more on the sea. To develop aquaculture, also in desert areas or in arid or semi-arid areas. There are many ways to do things. One of the Israeli NGOs that works here is called the Israeli Engineers Without Borders. So they develop indeed aquaculture and growing of algae. This can be done everywhere. We are now in the process of introducing prawns to Kenya as a mean to fight bilharzia. These prawns are eating the snails that cause the bilharzia, but if you grow them commercially, you have another source of income. The advantage of these prawns are like crabs, freshwater crabs, is that there is very high demand for them in Europe and in Asia and in other places, so they can be a good source of earning export money. And you can grow them also in fish ponds. If you have already fish ponds that exist, or you grow the prawns, they live on the bottom, so they do not compete with the fish. The fish live, let's say, in higher levels of fish ponds. And these prawns are monosex or unisex prawns, so they cannot reproduce and become an invasive species in the wild. Okay, so they will survive only in rice fields and places where you want to have aquaculture. There are many good solutions for agriculture coming from Israel that can be applied here, whether it's drip irrigation, which is really the most basic, throughout applications that are already in use in Kenya, for giving farmers, even small farmers, an indication about the weather forecast, when it will rain, how much. You know, many farmers today rely on the same patterns that they are used to hundreds of years.
Yeah,
okay?
they change.
That's changing really quickly.
And this is changing. So if you plant too early or too late, you will lose. So you must have early detection systems that tell you when the rain is coming, and more precise. And some of these technologies also coming from Israel are already in use here in Kenya, and more can be done. By the way, I wanted to tell you, we have brought the first ever climate mobile lab to Africa.
Where is it?
In Kenya, here in Kenya.
Which place is it?
It's in Kenya. I can't remember the place, but it is done by the Weizmann Institute, which is really the leading scientific organization in Israel in cooperation with Camry. It's a joint venture. And this lab is going to bring lots of data and information about climate in Kenya and in Africa. You see, one of the weaknesses of the African continent when it comes to climate change is that there isn't enough data on climate in Africa, and this climate lab is trying to make this gap smaller. So they will share the information with institutions here, and then it will move to Tanzania and Botswana. It will stay for several years in Africa.
Which means now we can actually start doing wastewater management in a better and more planned way, especially for arid and semi-arid areas.
Yes.
Especially places where they're doing pastoralist farming and their animals are dying because of drought.
Yes, and I want to invite you to come and to visit the lab.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
And make a plan, visit a program, take photos, shoot a video about them, what they are doing. It's very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
The first one of the climate lab in Africa.
Yes, mobile climate lab.
Great.
So when the mitigation you're talking about are very noble for the Kenyan people, but how do we manage? Because there's a policy level. The policy level is when the government is there, but then to translate it and take it to the people is a problem. How do we make sure that these noble ideas reach our people and that they embrace it and also we become food secure in future?
I think that what you are doing now in this program is already helping that.
Okay.
That we speak about it and we show people the possibilities. I'm sure the government knows how to do it. The counties, on the counties level, they also know how to do it. Private sector So I think that this is an effort that should be done by many actors, also civil society, research institutions, universities, etc. We, from our side, we are talking to partners and show them the possibilities. But I'm sure people are aware of it, of what we are saying. It's only we re-encourage them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Bon Ambassador, let's have a break shortly because we go for news and then we come back and we wind up our conversation. Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Ndugu.
Yeah. And tunasikia Kiswahili chako kinaendelea
kwa kizuri sana.
Kizuri hatua kwa hatua.
Asante sana. Haraka haina baraka.
Marafiki wamekuwa wengi wanaongea Kiswahili.
Tunazungumza naye ambassador wa Israeli Kenya, Mr. Gideon Behar, a very good man. He's a climate expert and many other things. We are talking about any other thing which comes in between. Keep listening. It's a Spice Drive. Karibuni sana. Let's go for news.
And it was a traditional song by Naomi Shmer. And I now understand why it's one of the favorite coming from Israel. It actually means Jerusalem of gold.
That's right.
Jerusalem of gold.
Jerusalem of gold.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, Jerusalem.
Dahabu.
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 Oh, it's almost like Swahili actually.
Yes, there's a lot of similarities right there in Swahili as well.
Yeah. Karibu sana, Bwana Ambassador. I think, thank you very much. Now, let's get back to discussion. You've seen what Donald Trump has tweeted, which we were saying in the news. A whole civilization. Let me read it for you. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought again. I don't want it to happen, but if they continue, they'll go back to Stone Age. What is it? What do you think?
I think that the Iranian regime should carefully listen to that and stop all their actions of war and terrorism and stop the blockage of the Straits of Hormuz. Stop the attack on their neighboring countries, on Israel, and they have the chance to
negotiate.
Of course.
So, if Iran came to the table, the same regime, to the table to negotiate with Israel, is there any chance, or do we need a total regime change?
Israel and Iran have been in the past, before the Islamic Revolution, very close allies.
And friends.
Yes, till 1979. Yes, and then came the Islamic Revolution, and Israel has become the
enemy number one.
Yes, Israel and the United States. Israel were the smaller Satan, the United States the big Satan, and we have become all by a sudden enemies of this regime, which came with extremist ideology and fundamentalism. And going to your question, I think things are possible. History has showed us that things are possible. But we need to see actions on the ground. We need to see that Iran has stopped the development of nuclear weapons, that Iran is stopping the creation of thousands of ballistic missiles, and that Iran is stopping the support for terroristic organizations throughout the Middle East. When this is done and the Iranian regime is no more of a threat to us and to the region, to the Middle East, to the whole world, then things will be good. I want also just to draw your attention. We have been talking about that the last hour, but now time has changed. Iran, this regime has been attacking 12 countries in the region, Muslim countries, Arab countries, namely Saudi, United Arab Emirates, etc. It was attacking civilian infrastructure, airports. That's why there is very little import also from countries like Kenya in Eastern Africa to the Middle East, because of direct and deliberate destruction by the Iranian regime of civilian infrastructure in the Gulf states.
So you think that because the new people, the new Ayatollah is not the old one who passed on, can he negotiate then?
I hope so. I think that there are enough people to make the decisions in Iran, and the proof is that they continue the war. So they have taken a decision to continue the war. They have taken a decision to block the Straits of Hormuz. They have taken a decision to bring in Hezbollah to attack Israel from the north. They have given Hezbollah the instructions to do that. Now they have drawn the Houthis that have opened a new front against Israel from the south. So apparently there are some people who make decisions there, and they can make any decisions, and I hope they will make the right decisions.
Okay. So I think this war then, the way I see Donald Trump, the president of America, is talking, it's very far from over, because it depends on the Iran's decision whether to continue or stop. If they stop, the war ends, because they had opened the whole Strait of Hormuz, but also the Israel's idea is to make sure that they do not have the capability. And have Israel attack dealt with the blow on neutralizing the capability of nuclear weapon or something?
Yeah, I want to remind the listeners why this war started. This war started because this regime was advancing very quickly to obtain nuclear weapons and to have a huge ballistic missiles program that would make it immune. They were in the process of bringing these two programs underground to make them immune, to shield them from any attack. And you know, if they were in the possession of nuclear warheads, of intercontinental ballistic missiles, they would blackmail the whole world. This is what this regime wants. They want international and global dominance, and they have created a machine which is doing that. Look at their influence in the Middle East. Look at the Houthis. The Houthis now are threatening to block Bab el-Mandab Straits. They get instructions from whom?
Iran.
Of course.
The public is what I fear for. What is the public in Iran saying of all this? How do they feel about the attack?
The public in Iran and the people of Iran are very hopeful that this war will bring a change in this regime, because this is a very oppressive regime, and this is really a very important point to understand. This regime has been oppressing the Iranian people since 1979. Okay, they've been stealing money from the people in order to finance ballistic missiles programs and nuclear weapons, and just in the last year or so, they've given approximately $2 billion to Hezbollah to build its armaments, its rockets, its missiles capabilities, etc. So the people of Iran are very happy about that, and they call us to continue. They don't want us to stop. They don't want this regime to stay in power. You can look at social media worldwide and see demonstrations of Iranian diaspora, whether it's in Europe or North America or Australia. They are very happy. You see hundreds of thousands of Iranian people marching the streets where there is liberty, like Hamburg, North America, etc., and they march with the flags of the Iranian flags before the Islamic Revolution, the flags of Israel and the flags of the United States. They appreciate that, and this is an extremely important point to make. The war is not against the Iranian people. The Iranian people are good people. They are fed up with this regime. The war is against a regime which is a very brutal regime, a regime that doesn't consider its own people, a regime that has killed tens of thousands of their owns just 2 months ago, 3 months ago, do you remember the big demonstrations in Iran? You know what they did? They shot women in the private organs in order to sow fear among demonstrations. They shot people in the eyes to intimidate them. They went even after wounded demonstrators. They went to look after them in clinics or hospital and to finish the job there. And we saw piles of bodies in Iran, everywhere. This is the kind of a regime which controls Iran. They rank number 2 in the world in the number of executions. They have been executing close to 2,000 people only last year.
So it's clearly a war on a regime that is funding and pushing the terrorism agenda, not against the people of Iran.
Absolutely. It's against the regime, not the people. The people are good people, are friendly people. They want relationship with Israel, and you see it worldwide.
Wow. It's very interesting, Ambassador. But what do you advise Kenyans who are living in Israel? What's the advice for them as we close?
Well, I advise them, do like every other Israeli. When there is an alarm, go to the shelter, do not hesitate. Make sure your cell phone is with you and the application that gives you a warning, early warning of an alarm is open. And do the drilling, go, don't, even if there are alarm during nighttime, don't be lazy, get up and go to a shelter. This is what saves life in Israel, that people go to shelters. Many people who died because of either attacks by Hezbollah or Iran died because they weren't in protected shelters or areas, either because they didn't have the time to do that or they were elderly. So listen to the instructions and this saves their life.
So is the numbers high in the attack on Israel, or is manageable for the Israeli side?
There have been dozens of thousands of alarms in Israel during this war. Dozens of thousands, okay? Everywhere and several times a day. The Iranian regime is now using cluster missiles. These are missiles that the warhead is a cluster bomb. It means that when it reaches the targets, above the targets, the warhead is splitting into dozens of smaller bombs. And this has been causing lots of damage in Israel. It's enough that one missile like this penetrates the anti-missile defense system and it creates huge of damage and stops life for millions of people each time that there is an alarm, especially the center, because the Iranian regime has been targeting population centers, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, etc. Then the bombs fall on them and life stops.
And how is the relationship now? Let's not talk only about Kenya. What about other African countries and some of them that you actually represent, and what are they saying?
So Israel enjoys very good relationship with African countries. We were among the first nations to recognize the independence of African states and to come with a hand open to offer assistance and training, etc. So we have very good relationship. I was in Tanzania 10 days ago and in Uganda 6 weeks ago. So we are active here and relationship are very good.
Okay, there have been some loose comments sometimes coming from just not so far away, maybe even in Eastern Africa, like in Uganda. And how do you treat such when you hear someone like General Muhoozi saying that they probably want to side with the other side that you're opposing?
Well, he's a good friend of Israel, and we appreciate it. We appreciate him very much, and we appreciate what he's saying. And really,
you're enjoying the support and everything, the backing.
Of course, I think that most of the African countries do support Israel and do understand, and also do understand the threat that Iran poses in Africa. You just have to open Google and look into terroristic activities of Iran in Africa. You see, so many countries have been affected by them.
Okay.
So thank you, Bwana Ambassador. Asante sana kwa kuja. I know you don't have enough time. Next time tutakualika tena uje.
Yes.
Tuchambue maneno ya Middle East.
Asanteni sana kwa interview hii. Lazimi kuwa hapa kwa
Spice
kufanya interview. Iko uhusiano mzuri sana katika Israel na Kenya. Asanteni sana, tunana tena.
Mungu akitujalia.
Mungu abariki Kenya, Mungu akubariki, Mungu akubariki. Mungu akubariki Israel, abariki Israel. Pia asanteni sana.
We have also learned one Maimzi Haim. Say, water is life.
Water is life.
Majini Ohai. You see, it's even close.
Yes,
very
close. Yeah. So, of course, next time we will still be championing about climate change, which is, I think, very, very personal. And
it's always personal to us.
Yeah.
I think every year I go to Hamburg for that.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for choosing Jerusalem of Gold.
Yeah.
It really touched me to hear it on the radio here. And it was the favorite song of my father. He used to sing it. So it really, I had tears in my eyes when I listened to it. You touched me.
Thank you. Song, I must say so.
Yeah.
And Hebrew is going to soon be our acquired language.
Lazima.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we are with Ambassador of Israel to Kenya, Gideon Behar, and we're talking about many issues today. We talked about climate change, we talked about the war in Iran, and what's happening in the Middle East, and the broader perspectives. He shared with us what you need to know. So if you have to go to our social, please go to SpiceFM 94.4. You'll see what we talked about. Very interesting conversation, unfiltered. And of course, we had some great music from that end too. So keep listening. When we come back, we continue with our usual broadcast. I'm your host, CEO Charles Otieno, and the real solo. Keep listening.
Don't stop.
And people, Africa is rising.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, now there's someone who's raised a very important question on social. That as a man, unaingia kuoga, you're going to the bathroom to shower or something.
Yeah.
And then your wife or your girlfriend tells you, babe, I forgot to wash my undies. Please wash it for me when you're showering. What would you do?
That's the highest grade of simping I've ever had. It is the most useless conversation ever. That you go and wash your woman's undies.
Yes.
Undergarments.
Congolese do it.
No.
Mapema na ngai.
Hiyo sasa ndio kuibiwa nyota. Hiyo sasa ni kama uchawi. Hiyo? Hapana. Never ever. Not in an African tradition, not in an African culture.
So what do you do?
No.
How will you say no?
No. You see now, ukifika hapo, umeanza kuzoewa kwa relationship. Now you're being used. You're being seen like a dump cleaner.
Yes.
And you should avoid that by all means necessary if you're a man.
You run away.
A woman should not be instructing you how to take care of the responsibilities she should have handled. As a man, put your place and your house in order.
Do not agree.
Don't agree. Hata towel kuosha. Sio kazi ya mwanaume. Sio kazi ya mwanaume. Now sembuse nini? Andies. But it's the highest form of degradation.
For a man. And the men who do it are simping.
They are simps and of the worst kind. And the things that are being done behind their back,
yes,
only she knows and God.
Yeah?
Only her, God, and the devil know.
What do you mean?
Yes. If a woman tells you that she forgot to clean her underwears,
yes,
and tells you ukiingia nioshe, and you do it,
yes,
you have failed your purpose in life as a man, and you're failing humanity
as a man. And now reverse the question.
Now, for a woman, she can come and take your undies and say, "Izi acha nikakuoshe." Only important thing is, as a man, never let your woman go and display your underwear uko nje kwa line ya nguo. Unapata kimzee kimeanikiwa underpants kwa line ya nguo. Na mnaishi kwa ploti. Everybody can see what you wear.
Kama ni ile mbaya.
Highest degradation. Napata yako imetoka rangi. Kuna siku iliwekwa kwa jik. Inakaa kama tie and dye. Don't accept such things.
It's a lawyer crazy.
No. As a man, never. Let her handle the things that she should handle.
Kila mtu handle, kila anaweza handle.
Yes. But as a man, going to wash your woman's underwears is the highest failure, highest degradation ever that you can be subjected to.
And these Congolese musicians do that a lot.
Yes, they do, but they simp a lot. Don't you know? They simp a lot. That's why they bleach their skin. Why are you bleaching your skin as a man? Why do you bleach your skin as a man? What are you trying to
impress who?
Yeah. Unataka kukaa nini? Unapiga huko cake soap.
Unakaa kama mayai.
Unakaa kama mayai.
And
your knuckles are black. Magoti black. Uso black and white, tie and dye.
Umevaa Caroline. Umepaka Caroline. No.
Even the Congolese who do that, they know it's not the best way. It's only that it's part of their culture, and they have embraced it.
It's actually a culture down there.
Yeah, but as a man, why do you want to look yellow? Even these yellow boys on the street, sometimes they are seeing like weaklings. I'm a light skin. Wanakanga weaklings sana. That's why they always boast around.
So finally, there's a challenge of Apple. Some people are told not to do it. If you don't have
You see, let me tell you one thing. That challenge has its purpose, because when a lady is vizuri, it looks like a love heart.
Yes.
But if you know you are BBL, bumpy, inakaa kama kitu imegongwa na gari, stop doing that challenge. Don't do it. If you are well figured, round shape, nicely, you can bend over and we'll get a nice photo of you looking like a love heart. Now that's lovely.
Yes.
Lakini wewe ukijua, wewe Wanjiko, wacha kufanya kitu bwana. Njeri, wacha hiyo games ya yenyu.
Naona mtu amwambia Njeri.
Nakaka mti imekatwa. Look like a tree stump.
Anaambia don't try
that.
So
give it for the full figured women. Full figured women.
So who brought this challenge?
You know, ladies have been doing that a lot, and you know, once it's well captured,
yes,
and you are woman of full figure, because not all of them are the same. Wewe unaweza inama ikae hivi ikae kama a love heart. But kama unajua wewe unakaa kama mti ya nini
ya maembe,
maembe imekatwa. What are you doing? Wachana na hiyo challenge Njeri.
So if you have done this challenge, please tell us, have you achieved your goals?
Yes.
Yeah, the girls who are doing this challenge.
Yeah, and it's not for all girls.
Yeah.
It's not for all girls. When ujuange how is your bum when you sit down or when you bend over? They are not the same.
They're not the same?
No.
Aye.
Yeah.
Uwe.
There are people who say mafurumbanya na kuna wengine wanasema manyama.